Hello, everyone, and welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This evening, we're going to continue our series on the Kabbalistic angels. I believe we're on the third one. If you, before we do get started, however, I want to remind you if you are interested in occult knowledge, information, live streams, and discussions, consider giving this video a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you're notified anytime we release a new video or go live. Most of our videos are done live these days anyhow. We do also have a locals community, which you can find at workingdragonmystic.com, or there'll be links below. You can find it to the Working Dragon Mystic layer, where we do have a lot more talks and discussions on things we can't necessarily talk about here on YouTube. And there's, for the supporters, there's members and supporters over there. For the supporters, there are regular workshops for free that I teach. And we've got a few new teachers that are considering doing some workshops as well. And a bunch of supporter-only content and videos and other things like that. So consider joining us over there if you would. All right. Also, while you're here, feel free to give us a super chat and support the channel. Any super chat of $5 or more automatically enters you into spell working I do for prosperity, well-being, and health. I do those every Monday. So, yeah. Okay. So, downside to the live streams, I can't always edit out when I have to pause to think. Karma, glad you could join us live for this one. All right. So what do you say we get into this? Now, last week we did have people trying to go off topic. On the Tuesday videos, I want to stay on topic. So if you have any questions, hold them to the end and keep them to the topic at hand, and I will try to answer what we can. We try to keep these a little shorter. For a longer open discussion, we do have Magical Coffee Hour every Sunday. So join us for that. Violet Star, good to see you. All right, so I was correct. This one is indeed the third Kabbalistic angel. Let me pause on this one. The name is Sitael. That's SIT-AH-ELL. SIT-AH-ELL. I have to pause because for some reason I want to put an R after the T. So if you hear me do that, I apologize for every time I've worked with this angel, they smiled and giggled because that R just jumps in there. They said, you can't help yourself. So, yeah, I want to say SIT-AH-ELL, which I think is a freaking candle. But it's SIT-AH-ELL. SIT-AH-ELL. For those wondering, I will make sure the pronunciation is spelled out phonetically below. So check that out after the video. That way you don't have to worry about a southerner trying to pronounce Hebrew. All right. Now the choir this angel is tied into, much like the first two, is the seraphim. And the divine name associated with this angel is Ah-He-Ah, or A-He-Ah-A. Ah-He-A. Yeah. There's two pronunciations of this, and I go back and forth. So the one I prefer is Ah-He-Ah. Okay, so Ah-He-Ah is the one that I'm used to hearing. Now, there is another one that a lot of people have said is in use, and I've heard this debated back and forth. It's not one I hear often, but since I've heard it debated, I wanted to include it, and that is Ah, as in A-H-H space, Ha. So aha. That might be a correct pronunciation, but that hurts my brain because it's like, aha. I can't, that one bothers me. So that's kind of the reason I've always gravitated toward the one I heard originally, which was Ah-He-Ah. And even both of those, I may be screwing those up. So my apologies for that. Ruling planet for this angel is, again, because we're in that those early tiers of the Kabbalistic angels, will be the Primal Mobile. Okay. So, pretty quick and easy on those. These videos are sometimes a little easier than I'm used to doing, but that's okay. All right. Now, with that said, of course, we are talking about an angel and we're talking about working with them. Clearly, entities are not limited to the boxes we put them in, but we do kind of always want to know if they have a specialty, and if so, what are areas they are known for being good to work in. And those are areas are as follows. The first one is protection against curses and adversity. And that can be whether you have experienced an extended period of trouble or bad luck, or you feel you are in real danger from somebody. This angel is a great one to call on when you are struggling or in hard times or something like that. Now, I want to specify when we say if you're in danger from someone, if you genuinely think you are truly in danger from someone, call the popo. Don't trust an angel only. Yes, get some help from the angel. Get some assistance. Use magic to do those things to help keep you safe and aware. But seek actual help within the physical realm. Also, I have heard so many tragic stories with people who refused to get actual assistance and tried to rely on magic alone. In fact, I've actually seen a few cases firsthand, and it breaks my heart every time. So if you're watching my channel, don't break my heart. Do both. Contact the angel, work with the angel, and also seek the proper authorities. Now, if it's just bad luck, of course, we don't need to involve the police. But if you're having a series of bad luck or, um, upsetting consequences, life getting uprooted, maybe job losses, anything, just a series of unfortunate events, if you want to quote a book series, reaching out to this angel to help break that cycle is a great thing. Though I will say this, when you are breaking those cycles, the angel is very likely to start pointing out where you're making the mistakes that's causing the cycle itself. A lot of people actually have a cycle and they want to blame outside things, curses, evil eyes, magicians, demons, ghosts, goblins, fae, and it's honestly just a cycle that's self-created, and they're just not seeing where they're creating it. So consider that. Next thing this entity is great with is to aid to discover the truth. This angel is particularly well at helping you to discern if someone is telling you the truth or lying in any situation. So kind of the politician's bane, if you will. Sorry, bad joke, but it is funny. Now this can help you in discerning lies or just seeking the truth. Now you all know I love to do research. I love to go digging, and I love to go spelunking information and lore and myth and all those things. That's something this angel can actually help you with. It can help you sort through a lot of different things and try to narrow down the one that comes to the truth of the matter. Now, with truth, though, you do have to remember there is subjective truth and there's objective truth. So you got to remember the subject you are researching. If it's mythology, if it's the occult, if it's these things that we cannot put into science, truth becomes a little wavy. It really does. And it can even shift from day to day, unfortunately. This is why I prefer the word gnosis instead of personal truth. I use personal gnosis because of that. So do take that into consideration. And be careful with that, because I've seen a lot of people like nail something down as this is the truth. And they become almost a zealot to it. And being unable to change your perspective is not a good thing ever. The next thing this angel's great with is identifying and stopping hypocrisy. I love that one. I hate hypocrites, personally speaking. You may not, you got your opinion, I got my opinion. But yeah, this is a great angel to help find and identify those. And in some cases, which I really personally like this, it also shows the person their hypocrisy like a mirror, which can trigger some good growth in people sometimes. Can also cause a mental break in some people if they aren't willing to grow by it. So there is that. And lastly, this entity has been very well known to help people find a job and or work. Okay. Some people's like, why do I state it that way? Well, You may already have a job, but you're wanting a side hustle or some other gig to do, in which case they can help you find that work, or any other circumstance like that. Or you could be trying to be an entrepreneur, in which case both of those could, in some situations, fit. So not everything is necessarily a job, even if it brings in those particular funds. In fact, I know one individual, his job has nothing to do with money. Like, he does get paid for it, true, but he didn't go out seeking money. He went out and seeking work to do something physical to get him out, to get him moving, because that's just what he preferred. That made him happy, and he didn't want to go to the gym. I get that. So, all right. Now, those are the things that this angel is particularly known for. Now, of course, you all are going to want to know the sigil, which I have. And my phone's already making noises. All right, let me get this up for you. There we go. Come on, sigil. Be nice. Here we go. All right. Now you can pause and screenshot that if you want. You can also Google it. It is on Google. Sometimes they can be hard to see or anything. This is the simplest version of it. Some people will put it in a square. Some people put it in a diamond. Some people put it in a circle. Some magicians put it on this big ornate decorative talisman, which is actually quite pretty if you want my personal opinion. But that is the basic of the sigil. That's all you need. Honestly, that's all I use. I don't use the ornate ones, no matter how pretty I think they are. And part of that's because I like to draw my own sigils. And that takes long enough to draw. I don't want to do the ornate thing. So that's my 2 cents. That's my choice of practice. If you want to use the sigil with the ornate ones that you can find online, go ahead, give them a try. I know a lot of artistic people who absolutely adore them. And, well, I can't draw a stick figure, so I'll stick with that. Next, we get to the incantation or the psalm, because these angels do use psalms as their incantations. And again, I'm going to make sure the incantation is in the description box below. So you don't have to necessarily... some people have trouble with my southern twang, and during the live streams, I can't put the words up on the screen, so I make sure to stick it in the description box so you can grab that afterwards if you like. Get a little water here. All right. The psalm is 91:2. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. Okay. Again, I'm seeing where the psalm connects, and I'm kind of liking that because there is a lot of protection. There's a lot of truth finding. There's a lot of, growth and revealing of things that come into this angel. And it's like, where can you put your trust? Where is the, you're not necessarily putting your trust in God, but I can see how the psalm directly relates to the areas that the angel can help in. So yeah, I like that one personally. And we usually try to finish with my personal experiences with the entity. Okay. I'll be honest, I've never really worked with this one when it comes to protections and curses in my personal life. I have worked with this angel for protections and breaking of curses and adversities in clients' lives, and have had some magnificent results. The only 2 clients that we were not really able to change that course, again, these were individuals that had started that cycle. The angel revealed that cycle. Even the person called me and was like, I think I'm causing this. And weirdly, they didn't want to change what they were doing. I'm still baffled by that one, but not my business. Everyone's got their life to live, and that's fine and dandy. But I have found it effective for clients. One day I may actually have to sit down and do some protection work specifically with this angel, because as much as I do protection work and, that kind of area of magic really interests me, it's weird to realize I've not worked with SIT-AH-ELL specifically in that area. That just baffles me. Um, but okay. Now, when it comes to discovering truths, hands down, this is definitely an area I've worked in. Whether I'm doing research, which is actually truly the biggest area I've dove into when I'm working with this angel. There's been many times when I go into mythologies or supposed prophecies, and I try to seek the truth and whatnot, and I try to get um, different perspectives. I've much like an investigator, a police officer, doesn't just take an eyewitness; they take multiple eyewitnesses to try and put together the real picture. Um, this angel is definitely one that I like to talk to and get a viewpoint on. In fact, one of the times I'm working with this angel is I'm considering doing a series on myths from different religions. And the one I'm thinking about is the kind of end of the world or apocalypse myths from different things. Right now, I'm looking at the biblical myth of the end of the world as well as Ragnarok from Norse mythology. Those are the two I'm wanting to consider comparing and contrasting and talk about and give my thoughts and viewpoints on them and why maybe we shouldn't be as terrified of them, but why we shouldn't also just disregard them entirely, those kinds of concepts. And this is one of the angels I'm talking about or talking with when I'm doing that. And not just, here's the thing, I'm not just working with this angel for Revelation side. I'm actually working with them while we're talking about Ragnarok as well. And of course, the entities from the Norse I'm working with for Ragnarok, also getting their viewpoint from the Revelation side of the end of the world, if that makes sense. I don't stay in an echo chamber. And I'm actually reaching out to a few other entity categories to piece that together too. The next one I have really used a lot, a lot, is the hypocrisy one. Like I said earlier, I hate hypocrisy. It is kind of one of my pet peeves. So this is one of the ones where I have used it. And more specifically, like I'm really good at paying attention to a person, watching a person's actions. So like identifying an individual's hypocrisy isn't a hard thing for me. What I particularly enjoy is you working with this angel to show that hypocrisy to others so that they can see it as well, and definitely showing the individual their own hypocrisy and or turning that hypocrisy against them. So what I personally do is first I make sure the angel shows them their hypocrisy, right? So it's a known factor to them. And then if they continue, at that point, I'll work with the angel so that anytime they continue this hypocrisy or this habit of hypocrisy, it can actually begin to backfire on them and snowball. And it's completely in their power to stop it. So, you know, that's just how I like to approach it. Some people may think that's mean. I understand. That's no problem. You can think I'm mean for that. That's cool. I don't mind that a bit. Everybody has their own opinion. As for jobs and work, I have not worked with this one in that context personally. Again, this is one where I have worked with clients or I know friends who has worked with this angel to get jobs and reach out for work. And they have had fantastic success. Me personally, I tend to go with the Norse or the dragons for that's where anytime I was needing jobs or work, that's who I was working with. So that's what I did. And so, yeah, luckily, I've also not really had too much. Well, I can't say I've not had trouble finding work. There's been times I was just like, yeah, life sucks. But that's, at the same time, any of those times where I was struggling to find work, I hadn't worked with the Kabbalistic angels yet. So the opportunity and the thought wouldn't have been there to present. So I can't say much more other than the clients that I've had and the friends that I have that have worked with this one and had some great results. You all know there's a dragon on this channel that I've talked about, and there's a video on him called X Boonwell. When it comes to job, work, prosperity, that's my go-to guy. Me and X Boonwell get along great, and so many viewers and members and supporters of this channel, they have worked with X Boonwell and gotten amazing, amazing results. In fact, I think we have one person that's actually considering doing an actual workshop over at the Locals channel for the supporters on X Boonwell, prosperity, and job magic. I think it's directly focused with X Boonwell, which is really cool. I may actually have to go and jump in on that one myself just to see how it goes. Okay, that's a general rundown. Do we have any questions? Let's see, that's 20 minutes. That's not too bad. Also, if you are still here, give us a thumbs up. It helps us with the algorithm and all those wonderful things. We are trying to get more traffic here on YouTube. Be sure to share the videos too if you know anybody who's interested. YouTube is not as interested in occult channels as they used to be. Nature of the beast, I guess. No worries. But if we don't have any questions, then we can go ahead and wrap up. And you guys can, like I said, if you need it, check out the pronunciation below, as well as the Psalms below if you need that as well. Let's see. Let's see. Cats, bro. This is big. The video's big, but I'm not sure I understand the comment. I'm old. I'm not with the. I don't have cues, but the timing and all you shared is so helpful right now. That's always good to hear, Violet Star. Actually, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, go ahead, grab that sigil, reach out, and speak with this angel. You might find some handy stuff with it. I did not consider that. That is cool. The timing did line up nicely. All right, everyone. You all have a fantastic night. I'm going to go and grab some dinner or something. And until next time, everyone, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take care. Bye-bye.